Have you ever wondered why some of the most successful men struggle to keep a high quality woman attracted, while others easily attract the women who do anything for them? After 12 years of researching female psychology and successfully coaching over 200 men, I uncovered the real reason. And in this video, man, I'll reveal my unique 5-step primal desire framework that will keep any woman wildly attracted to you, so that you can finally build your dream relationship with a woman that will do anything for you. Here's the biggest discovery I made. When I was splashing the cash on fancy dinners, expensive holiday trips and jewelry, I didn't realize that I was setting myself up for fucking failure. Because I created a bond between her and my wallet, not between her and me. So when things got tough, like we had plenty of heated arguments because the honeymoon phase had ended, there was no deeper reason for her to fight for me anymore, to go the extra mile. Because there was no special bond between us. And any other guy could just replace me with his black Amex card. And that's when it truly hit me. Real connection isn't about what you can buy. It's about what you can make her feel. Think about your favorite movie character for a second. Say James Bond. You know he's fictional, but you feel connected to him. You root for him, you care if he wins, you even feel his pain, right? And that's the power of emotion. Women bond the exact same way. It's not logic, it's not the trip to Ibiza, it's the emotional experience you create in her body when she's with you. And this emotional experience is built on 5 primal desires, which I'm about to show you obviously. And the first one is the foundation for everything else. So what is primal desire number 1? Emotional safety. So most guys think women want bad boys and toxic drama, but that is total bullshit. Sure, traumatized women crave toxicity, but high quality women crave emotional safety, man. So why is safety so important to them? Because think about it, if she doesn't feel safe with you, she can't relax into her feminine energy. And that's like prohibiting her from being a woman in the first place. So how do you build emotional safety? It's actually quite simple, and I break it down for you in 2 layers. Layer number 1, can she be herself around you, man? Can she vent about her problems without you judging her or instantly rushing to fix it? Because I know that we men are guilty of that. So here's an example. Let's say you are on a date and she's talking about a tough day she's having. She's got a ton of tight deadlines, she's working 80 hours at the moment, she's stressed as fuck. So back when I was a Kevin, the guy who didn't understand women at all, I'd say something like this. Have you talked to your boss about it? Do you know what's wrong with that? I just negated her need for validation. Do you know what she actually wants in that moment? For you to simply listen and reflect back her feelings to her. Women bond by venting and sharing, being listened to. So when you become a Hercules, the man who reads women like a book, you'd use something that I call a cold read. You simply reflect back her feelings. So when she says that she's having a rough week, you could just tell her like, hey, that sounds fucking frustrating as hell. And then you pause. A simple cold read like that makes her feel seen and heard. And it shows that you're creating a non-judgmental safe space for her to be herself. And women totally love that. Now the second layer that triggers her primal desire for emotional safety is one of the most underrated ones. Layer 2 is, are you emotionally regulated or a fucking ticking time bomb? That one was a huge one for me, man. And it's a huge one for almost every client I work with actually. So when I was a Kevin, I was emotionally volatile. Like I constantly lost my shit while driving. I was trigger ready when someone rejected my opinion. And man, worst of all, I freaked out when a girl would not text me back. I'll never forget, like when I was dating Marie, I was in Dubai at that specific time. She didn't reply to one of my texts for like a couple of hours. I fucking spiraled, man. I'll never forget that, man. I was pacing in my Airbnb and bombarding her with message after message after message. Because my inner Kevin showed up. Did I just say something wrong? Is she going to leave me? Or these kind of thoughts were all spiraling in my head. Now imagine for a second you're her. Your phone's blowing up with messages just because you didn't text back fast enough. What's the story she's going to tell herself about you in that moment? What kind of signal does that send to her? It screams, I'm not secure in myself and I cannot regulate my emotions. I have to act on every single emotion I feel and dump them all on you. And then ask yourself, if she can't trust you to hold your own emotions, how could she ever trust you to hold hers? That kills attraction instantly, man. So here's a quick coaching exercise that I teach inside my Hercules mentorship. So when you feel anxious or spiraling because she didn't text you back, which can happen, ask yourself, what is the story I've created in this moment about this specific situation? Am I acting like a Kevin, unregulated or anxious, or am I actually being a Hercules, a grounded masculine man? Especially in this epidemic of hypersensitive, hyper-anxious men, being emotionally grounded is, bro, sexy as fuck, man. So once she feels emotionally safe, once she knows she can open up and you won't judge her or collapse emotionally yourself, something else kicks in. So her nervous system will start asking, can this man actually protect me? Do I feel physically safe in his presence? And that brings us to the second primary desire, physical safety. So her primary desire for physical safety only gets triggered when she feels like you can protect her physically, like you have the capacity for danger and violence, yeah? So let me tell you a quick story to sort of bring that point home. So when I was still living in London, Sandra once picked me up from my boxing classes, right? So she was actually early and she saw me absolutely destroying the fucking heavy bag, right? Like I was possessed by demons. Later that night, she ripped off my clothes the second we walked through that door. And we had the most primal sex we'd ever had because, yeah, man, it was fucking wild. So like afterwards, half jokingly, I accused her of using me for my body, right? And you know what she said, and that has stuck with me ever since. Gene, I don't know what it was, but seeing you like that, it turned me on. Like that rawness, your muscles, the brutality. So you might wonder, okay, why did it turn her on? Because when she feels physically safe with you, her whole body subconsciously relaxes. Her nervous system relaxes. She stops scanning her environment for threats. She can finally let go and surrender into her feminine energy. Deep down, her body knows, I am safe with him. So you can tell when a woman feels physically safe around you, when she's becoming super clumsy or when she starts switching her brain off around you and starts acting like a little bit of a 6-year-old. She starts bumping into things or just gets lost easily. So how can you convey that kind of physical strength to her? So you can hit the gym, obviously, do combat sports, fighting, and small things like when you cross the street and you stop her like this, yeah? That subconsciously makes her feel safe because it conveys that you are watching out for her. And we covered safety, and safety is super powerful because it is the foundation of attraction. But here's the truth, man. Safety alone is only the foundation. It only builds trust, not connection. But it is connection that creates an unbreakable bridge between you two. It's connection that makes her think he gets me in the way that no one else does, which is obviously also the third primary desire, connection. So unfortunately, most successful men screw up building a deeper emotional connection because we live in our heads. We're so focused on coding, the spreadsheets, managing portfolios, managing our teams. We aren't present. So when we're with her, we miss the tiny details, like the look in her eyes, right? The way her tone shifts when she says she's fine, but actually she isn't. We miss the entire subcommunication essentially. And it's the subcommunication where we miss the greatest opportunities to connect on a deeper level with her. So think of connection like a radio signal, right? She's broadcasting emotions on one frequency, but most men are tuned into a completely different channel. So she's hinting at what she needs, yeah? But because you're so distracted or you're overthinking, you totally miss it. And over time, when she feels that you're missing her completely, she stops broadcasting altogether, right? So that's when you hear, hey, I just don't feel it anymore, or when she starts going cold and quiet. And this can all be easily fixed, by the way, man, right? Because when she feels deeply seen, she's gonna be obsessed with you, man. That's when she's gonna say, I've never met a man who understands me like you do. That's when real love happens. So obviously, you wanna know, how do you build that unbreakable connection? So there are several layers to it, but all starts with deeper questions. I'm going to give you a couple of great questions, right? These questions can be used for early stage dates, like the second or third, but also if you've been together for a long time, because her priorities or dreams might shift. You can ask questions such as, what makes your heart sing? What are your biggest fears? What would be your biggest regret in life? It's those deeper questions that allow her to reveal her authentic self. And being with someone who accepts her for who she is, that's what's gonna make her loyal, man. So when you're with her, be more present. Here are a couple of examples, yeah? So for instance, Kevin does not know her favorite snacks, her favorite hobbies, what makes her tick, right? He just gets her the generic gift, like a bag or a necklace. But like a Hercules, he writes little notes, he knows her inside out, yeah? So I bought Sandra a paint set a few weeks ago because she mentioned a few years back that she loved to draw when she worked in banking. It calmed her down. Or when I feel that she's a bit more quiet than usually, then I sometimes just give her a hug. That's it. Now, safety and connection build trust and love, but if you want her to also go wild in bed with you and look at you like she's never looked at any other man before, you need to trigger 2 more primary desires. And the next primary desire is leadership. So what you must understand about women is that deep down, they all want to be feminine. For that, however, she needs masculine direction. Now, the biggest mistake most men make is that they only operate in the extremes. They either overlead and are controlling and domineering, or they underlead. I'm not sure if that word exists, right? But they are passive, indecisive, sort of like Kevin. So let me give you a quick example. So picture your life as a company. You are the CEO and you are inviting her to be the COO. She supports the mission, but you set the vision. So Hercules stays the CEO. He's grounded, decisive, leading from purpose, right? Kevin, as a customer service rep, is obsessed with asking for permission. Is this okay? Are you happy? What do you want to do? That's not a partnership, man. She didn't sign up to be your fucking boss. She wants to build something with you, by your side, not as your boss, bro. And this one took me fucking ages to realize, but when you lead from a place of love instead of fear, she can relax into her feminine. So for that, you must let her go and trust her to follow you. And paradoxically, that freedom to letting her go makes her want to follow you more. Now, how do you demonstrate that kind of masculine leadership, the Hercules kind of leadership? You simply set the frame of the relationship. You establish rules of communication, for instance, like Sandra and I have agreed to not suck shit up and openly talk about issues that come up, things that bother us. Then also build the vision for your relationship. What do you guys want to build together? What is the story that you guys want to create together? And then, big one, learn to say no. This one is especially difficult for us men. We want to provide for her, we want her to be happy, but we cannot do that at our own expense. So by setting this kind of frame, you allow her to be CEO and continue to support you as the CEO of the relationship. Now there's one more thing that we need to dive into because this makes or breaks any relationship. And most men totally get this wrong. Triggering her primary desire of fantasies and adventure. So man, by not triggering her primary desire of adventure and fantasies, you are depriving yourself of a wild sex life as well as the most potent way to bond, which is sex. So the issue that we men essentially experience is that we've been conditioned to suppress our wild side. We're told it's toxic, it's too much, it's not safe. So we dull it down, we tame it, we play nice, and we become predictable and fucking boring. And when we do that, we become her therapist, her co-worker, but her friend, but never her lover. And when you do that over time, you friend zone yourself in the relationship, man. So when I built this primary desires framework, I came across a quote from one of the legends in the dating space, right? So he said, don't do what women say they want. Do what they respond well to. That fucking hit me like a truck, bro. So I decided instead of just reading studies, I studied actually what women actually consume in private. Romance novels, wild fantasy novels, and one of them was 50 Shades of Grey. And man, that fucking blew my mind away. The things women fantasize about make corn look fucking tame, bro. So the takeaway from reading all those novels, as well as actually having worked as a bartender back in the days as well, is that playfulness and tension never stop after you get the woman. The moment you stop gaming her, attraction starts dying. So I know gaming her has a bit of a bad stigma around it, so let me explain what I mean by it. It does not mean to manipulate her. It means being playful. Keeping that cocky, flirty frame who challenges her in the best possible way. Sort of like the CEO frame I talked about earlier. So this is what triggers her wild feminine side. This is what makes her want to rip your pants off after being years together. I want you to make the relationship a playground. Tease her in everyday moments. So when Sandra asks me, hey Gene, can you pass me the salt? The obvious response would be, of course. But a teasing response would be no. It just flips the script, bro. It makes something that is predictable, unpredictable. Or when she asks you some like silly questions like, oh, do you still love me? And you can respond with like, when did I ever? It's silly, it's mischievous, it's charming. It breaks the pattern of boring, logical conversations, man. And when you keep this energy alive, she stays turned on 24/7, which means when you're ready to go wild in the bedroom, you don't need foreplay. She's already halfway there. Just be silly, man. Stop being so serious. And if you want to know the darkest female fantasies, you know, the ones that women rarely admit out loud, but secretly crave, I break them down in this video, which you should watch next.